In 1765, the British Parliament passed the Stamp Act, a revenue law that levied a tax on all trade deals. The attempt to introduce the tax provoked discontent and disturbances among the inhabitants of Boston and other colonial towns. Fierce resistance to the tax forced the British government to repeal the Stamp Act. However, shortly after, the Parliament imposed new duties and sent regular troops to discourage any rebellion. This led to the famous Boston Massacre, where British troops fired on the crowd, killing several men. In 1773, British ships delivered a huge shipment of tea to Boston. This time, the Parliament had abolished the duty on tea imported to America, but had left a small tax in place. The colonists, however, continued to refuse the rights of the Parliament to tax them. A group of Bostonians, disguised as Native Americans, boarded the vessels and emptied the tea into Boston Harbor. The locals called this event the Boston Tea Party. As punishment, the British government ruled that Boston Harbor be closed for trade, causing resentment and rebellion in 13 British colonies. The Boston Tea Party was followed by unrest. In May 1775, the Second Continental Congress was held, and the representatives sent the king one last plea, which became known as the Olive Branch Petition. They later ruled to form an American army and appointed 43-year-old George Washington as its commander-in-chief. In response, the king declared the colonies to be in a state of rebellion and ordered the revolt to be suppressed. The war began with a skirmish between the Lexington farmers and British troops. A squad of 700 entered Lexington to face the badly organized rows of militiamen. There were less than 70 of them, and a British officer offered to let them go home before it was too late. But a shot provoked the British into firing a volley, which killed 8 and injured 10 colonists. By noon, they had entered Concord. Meanwhile, news of the outrage in Lexington had spread around the neighborhood. On their way back to Boston, the British were ceaselessly enfiladed by the rebels who lay ambushes along the road. As a result, the Concord Campaign cost the lives of 273 British and 95 Americans.